Hello and thank you, gentlemen. Joe, it is time to spend another day with me. Your favorite thing in the world is we commentate Cold War, and I feel underdressed. I did not know that people were gonna have ties on and blazers. You're in a sweater. Oh, most of these events we just been wearing like gaming gear.
A cap on that, a gap on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're getting on in here though. We have these teams of
Sicario and Lycus Empire, Gunzi, Pure, Nightmare, and Riza, however you choose to go ahead and say his name, but already Ant Loaded going to be able to find one right out of the gate. So 5-0 off the rip. Miami Hardpoint to start things off here. A bit of an interesting map when we talk about the respawn in general, but I do want to kind of touch on Sicario Gaming real quick. Last year, former roster for Carnage Gaming, they placed second at the Amateur Champs event, and they also won 3 Kraken bounties in a row. It was the 3-peat herd across the entire amateur community and across the Florida community of esports in general. And Tugboat here on Miami, point 1, just about 20 seconds left already on the rotations, is going to be the side of Sicario.
Yeah, Pure here now on a nice little 4 streak. Did dive first, not going to matter when you're performing like this. Big chunks taken out of this hard point. It'll always be in that neutral spot. It'll always be big chunks taken out of these, especially once a team comes through. It's hard to break. Moving on along, looking towards north. Next hard point is going to be Ben actually taken down there. Try to play the corner, not going to happen.
We see early good rotations from the side of Sicario Gaming, and now it's time for Lycus Empire to try and make a bit of a push here, but again, we know how good the presence of Sicario is. We know how fast their SMG players love to get up in your face and play in that aggressive style, but this year, with the FFAR being as good as it is compared to the MP5, both weapons are very, very useful in a lot of situations. When on a map like Miami, where we have a lot more wide open angles, I feel like it's going to be much more useful to be able to run the FFAR on this map compared to an MP5 at all times, because you can slay inside of the hill as well as watch a lot of lanes and rotations.
Exactly. We're on board with Nightmare there, showing what you can do with an AK-47. This is the side of Sicario Gaming, now putting 60-62 on the board up against 15. That is Lycus on the left here in the blue. That is CIA versus DGI. I'm looking towards the next hard point here soon. This will be number 3 on board, and this has really been Sicario just taking massive chunks out of these hard points.
Yeah, well, the rotations from P2 to P3, it's really just about controlling that outer beach area because of how close those 2 rotational points are to each other. So when you have 60 seconds in between, obviously it's going to have trades going back and forth a lot, but as we see Nightmare get a couple there with a gun in hand of the AK-47, another player that decides to pull that out on a 4 streak right now, holding down the hill for the side of Sicario, folks. One of the best ARs inside of Call of Duty last year in Modern Warfare, looking to show his prowess yet again as he finds another 2-piece. He's got 6 in a row right now, not looking to slow down one bit, playing over towards the opponent's spawn. He'll try to find 7, but gets cut down with 25 seconds left over towards P3.
9-4 for Nightmare. He's doing the Tugboat proud by taking those kinds of kills from that sailboat outside. This beach area is so up and down, and that is a Lycus Gaming squad that just learned that the hard way. Moving here soon. 12 seconds left, but there's no reason, excuse me, that's been praised, picking these sailors off that boat left and right. Now, Lycus Gaming has not put up a point in 2 hard points.
Yeah, well, it's been extremely difficult for them because, 1, they haven't been able to find themselves rotations, and 2, every time Sicario finds 1, they're finding 2 and 3 at the same time, so it's not just one player falling from the side of Lycus Empire, it's 3 and 4 at a time, to where they're having to spawn across the map and then fight their way back through the line of defense that Sicario Gaming has, and oh, that's a pretty difficult task if I'm going to be honest with you, Tugboat, but now as Ben finds 1, he won't be able to find the second, so even though the side of Lycus Empire had a little bit of rotational force there that time, it just didn't work out square for him. Sicario Gaming, once again, reclaim the lead,
There's a lot to be said for Lycus taking points on here after putting up 15 first hard point, nothing on the next 2. Really fighting to get on in there, but this is the Sicario Gaming squad doing a fantastic job of covering off this point. We're going to be starting our next rotation of hard points here soon, but we are not there quite yet. 10 seconds and rotations come, and everybody flooding down to the southwest part of the map.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we see Lycus Empire getting these rotations. Really, it was just because that's where they ended up spawning for that last point. But the one thing I do like about Miami Hardpoint is it plays a bit different than a lot of the other maps. A lot of the maps that we've seen so far, at least inside of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, is a 4-point kind of rotational system. This map has 5 different hard points on it, so it's nice to see a little bit of a refresh, a bit bigger of a map to where we are able to see a lot more weapons come out, to where we can see from AKs to FFARs, and a little bit less of the MP5 that everybody loves. But as I say that, Gunzy picks up 2, Pure finds another on a 5 streak. It's going to be Gunzy, 9-4 this game, so a bit of a quiet start for him thus far, but with a 1:04 in the hill, he's helping his team in every way, shape, and form thus far. No one from Sicario really having a down game whatsoever, and well, that's evident from the scoreboard. 170-38 with 15 seconds left on P5.
Big outlier here being Nightmare at 13-5, more than doubling up. That's what, 2.5 times, something like that. Looking on the other side, just talking about slaying potential. That's Ben Praise at the even 9-9 and loaded, a little bit behind him at 9-10, not that far away though. Pure gets taken down there at hard points. Now rotation coming through. There's the last one for these, and we will see. Nope, that's the first one again. Excuse me. Lycus is back on top of this. They took the significant chunk on the first time. Now it's going to be the name of the game will be staying here and keeping this point.
Yeah, well, I actually had a chance to sit down and have an interview with Gunzy a little bit before this tournament has begun, and what he kind of told me is that this team is extremely confident going into the season, and why wouldn't you be? When you have a Nightmare AR who is quite literally Freddy Krueger slashing on the map. I mean, it's very hard to lose games, especially when you are holding down spawns in a 4v4 scenario. But folks, I think it's important to kind of tell you how long Sicario have been together as a roster. Yeah. This 4 has gone through multiple different teammates in 5 versus 5 in terms of who their 5th player was, but this main 4 core roster has been together for almost an entire year at this point, so to speak, and it just goes to show their synergy around the map, the way they're able to play together, and most importantly, the individual raw gun skill that this team possesses. They're going to be a threat in the amateur scene all year once again. Sicario did a fantastic job picking up one of the best rosters that they could have found inside of the scene.
Serious stuff, and the simple fact of staying together that long, you'll be able to build that synergy between these players, and that's not something that you always find here. Now, moving on along here. First 20 seconds or so, not really getting huge out of it, but this is now Sicario Gaming setting up. That's Trophy down, shots come in. That's Ben Praise. Nice headshot to start this one out. Trophy system out of here, sends you back to respawn.
Another team spawns up behind him, instantaneously starts to push out different lanes instead of reinforcing the hill. They know the collapse is coming like a python, but now it's going to be too late as Sicario breaking towards this hill. Flux the last one alive. He'll go ahead and fall, and they won't be able to win off of this hill, so rotations are going to need to be had. But look at player number 5 in Gunzy on the flank over towards player number 3 behind him, and this is going to be huge because not only do they secure the spawns over towards this Tiki area, this is going to allow them to hold down basically the entire beach, especially after this kill comes through from Gunzy. They're going to be able to find the hill. Nobody else around from the side of Lycus Empire, and this should be a GG. A couple more kills and middle map will go their way. One contest might be able to come through on the hill. Not going to happen. Nightmare takes them down. 5 more seconds. Nobody even close. Sicario Gaming takes game number 1, 250-75. A 100-point club coming out here early, and a fantastic way to kick off things here in the Release the Kraken $25,000 tournament.
Yes, sir. This is a Sicario Gaming squad with their eyes on that 15K already. That's first place. It'll be getting that cash prize. Now, end of the day, I think that a lot of this came down to slaying power. Yep. We saw the first hard point previously, the first game here on the Release the Kraken.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be hopping in live with Havoc's perspective on his stream. We had to get some sort of content out to you guys just for the sheer fact that the lobbies are not cooperating with us right now. The caster is not able to be with the players. The lobbies keep disconnecting players out of the lobby at different times and points and periods. So we do apologize, but we needed to get something to you here live. But I'm McCormiel alongside FBI Tugboat. On screen right now, Havoc is streaming the 4v4 variant Mutineers 25K event. And for the Release the Kraken, it is time that we get back into this, at least in some way, shape, or form, that we can at least see some gameplay.
Yes, sir. Relatively towards the beginning of this one, second point, beach now evacuated. Empty beach there, 40-80. So we saw a 250-75 earlier between Sicario and Lycus Gaming. This one looking a little bit more even.
Yeah, well, of course, we see Havoc getting taken down there. Well, of course, we're seeing some AKs back again inside of this map, but the FFAR as well. Just about an hour ago as well, Treyarch released a little bit of information about the update that they had pushed out a couple of hours ago, and that was a quick nerf to the MP5, a 33% damage range decrease on the weapon, as well as a little bit more recoil on the first few shots from the actual gun itself. So maybe not seeing as many MP5 MP5's still not sure how useful it's going to be. I'm sure up close and personal, it's still going to be the same beast that it was before. Remember, this is just a damage range decrease instead of it being a full damage decrease to the weapon in general. So up close, the MP5 is still going to be a great weapon. You're just not going to be able to beam kids across the map like you were able to do previously before the update started. So a little bit of a change to kick this tournament off, which is always a bit of fun to watch and see how players can react and adapt to that.
Yes, sir. React and adapt, go forth and proliferate, and how they do it will be determining of their positioning here in the Release the Kraken tournament. 71-72 now, up against 100. We're on board still with Havoc. We'll try and get other perspectives as they come, but we are getting what we can in right now. Longer range shots, that's the screaming across there. As everybody pushing on in here, we're on board with Havoc. He's moving through the parking garage now. A little flank action. We were talking about this earlier, and that's going to get a lot of value as Pander, Kismet both put down. No more points for you, my friend.
A great perspective from Havoc right there. One of the Mutineers' prouds, and we love our boy Havoc. And now as we look to go ahead and find maybe a couple more kills here in towards the point for Havoc, he's on a 2 streak looking for perhaps a couple more. And as we continue to go through and find out potentially if he's going to get pushed here for the last 5 seconds of scrap. The rotation back over towards the next point is going to be commencing, and that is going to leave the side of Havoc's roster in a bit of peril here, as they don't have the necessary rotations, and now we're going to have to fight through middle map and around the outskirts of the map to see if they can make a pinch play happen, or potentially just get a little bit of time here before the push comes from the side of Kismet's roster.
Absolutely. Looking at 112, 104. Longer range shots, hits him right across the top. That's Kismet again. And now we're spawning back outside.
Well, Havoc's going to rush up here through Tiki. And, look over towards middle map, but he's going to get cut down from that right side by Mox. Well, somebody he used to be on a team with last year inside of the CDL. We actually sat down with Mox in an interview during some of the Kraken bounties. We're able to sit down alongside and cast with him for a couple of maps there as well. And honestly, that guy has a bright future, if as not as a player, when he decides that he wants to kind of hang up the sticks inside of the broadcast booth, because he's got a lot of potential, not just as a commentator, but as an analyst. And he's got a bright personality and spirit to him that is really refreshing to see. He does care passionately about this game, just like a lot of these pros do. And it's kind of that interesting conversation to have, like, after some of these guys are done playing, who wants to be a part of the Call of Duty even further, and that's maybe starting up their own org, maybe starting up a team, maybe buying into the CDL with a potential organization or roster, whatever it may be, and who wants to go and join maybe the casting desk or some of the analytical side of things. So as continuing to look here on screen, the rotation over towards this bottom building, over towards the visitors center, is starting to commence, and towards middle map. Kismet with some beautiful shots there on the FFAR on towards Havoc, and well, this game's just about dead even. Tugboat about 10, 11 points separate these guys right now, and as we get ready to rotate with about 15 seconds left, we'll be trying to find that next hard point over towards that left side of the map near the boats.
Absolutely. These are two teams that have not gotten very far away from each other quite yet, and now that's Pander with his own headshot against Havoc here. Havoc has been beaming players across, putting them straight to the noggin, chrome to the dome, and that has stopped right there. 20 points now separating. This is looking like the biggest point differential we've seen so far, but Team Havoc in the right and the red, bringing this one back. Team Fly High F3 left in the blue.
Yeah, well, of course, we saw Havoc have that huge two-piece over towards that garage side hill, and that actually brought them back by a pretty large amount. They got about 30, 35 seconds of scrap time on that hill, and were able to go ahead and climb their way back into this map. However, now, with just about 30 seconds left on this next hill, got our X with some great shots on the AK, maybe going to peek out here onto Havoc. And, folks, if you are just joining us, we do apologize about what had happened with our CODcaster view. Unfortunately, the game is not cooperating with us in the way we'd like to. We've seen this in the last couple of events, the last couple of days, and we do apologize for this, but we are trying to give you the next best thing with these players' streams. And oh my goodness, got our X almost with that AK, turns and burns onto Havoc, but luckily Havoc is able to find those shots, get away with his life, peppered him up just a bit beforehand. But now, as we are in the the Blackwood lobby, we are now going to be over towards this bottom area, looking for a few entry kills in towards that bottom area. The backside staircase is also a huge entry point for a lot of teams to potentially make that flank that we have talked about. That is really can be a thorn in a team's side.
Absolutely. The Blackwood Hotel looking anything but the backwoods. A very nice hotel here, and a place of some malicious murder. That's Havoc following on that one. Kismet, God RX coming through, putting players down as that was getting very close. to, again, another score, another, wind shade, right? Another lead change, excuse me. Words are hard, right? 179, 188, and this has been pretty indicative of the rest of this match. Again, I think 21 points was the largest score difference between these two teams in this matchup today.
Well, Miami's a bit dark of a map, so it's a little bit harder to see some players across the map in some instances. But I promise you guys, in real life, Miami is an absolutely beautiful
sunny
place.
Miami.
Sunny Miami. Even nighttime Miami gets a little crazy down there, but you know it still can be an excellent time for people.
I'm sure
I was going to say families, but I was going to say more or less people to go down and
fair.
enjoy the Miami time near the beaches. South Beach, great place. But to get back on track here inside of the map, you know, losing a couple of points here in a row. Havoc, some great shots there on the GodRx. A lot of engagements against GodRx here in this map so far. And I really think that comes down to where they play as players and what Havoc's going to be watching compared to his teammates. But as they try to slide in here towards the garage, the smoke is going to come out. Stuns galore go through, but the trophy system's going to be able to find one. Havoc pre-aims the door. No, someone's on his right side as well because there's a Headless there too.
Yeah, exactly. Smoke clears. Pander finds it. Havoc falls to another well-placed headshot. Headshots have been both the bane of his existence and the tool by which he takes down these kills. Now, he's had a huge effect in this game, but this next could be ending on our next hardpoint.
Yeah, we talked about headshots right there, but realistically, headshot multiplier in this game has actually been a little bit high from what we were experiencing towards the tail end of Modern Warfare. As we can remember in Modern Warfare, the headshot multiplier at the beginning of the game was quite literally ridiculous in a sense because, you know, people were getting like 2 to 3 tapped by the M4 at the beginning of that game. They had to dial that back a little bit. This game, obviously not as drastic of a headshot multiplier, but it's definitely noticeable. So aiming higher definitely will reward you with a bit more of an advantageous position, and 9 times out of 10 will reward you with the kill for hitting those headshots.
2 points away is Havoc. Some apt analysis here from my man McCornmeal. This is Fly High is doing a fantastic job of covering first hard point. They have no more wiggle room, Corn. This hard point changes. They have to be all over the next one. Can only give up 1 second. It's all the playtime they have.
Well, it's very well possible. They just got to get basically a few key cross-map matchups and kills. But now with Havoc being the last one alive in towards this point, he's got some teammates around him, but they got to rotate all the way across the map within 5 seconds. They've got to get there now, and the first couple of players are there. The gunfights are going to come down to the last few. GodRx takes down Havoc. No one was able to break through the lobby in enough time. 19 and 22 to top the leaderboard off 4,100 damage for Awakening there as he has the second most damage on the team, and that is going to allow the side of Havoc to lose that hard point in map number 1. So, of course, they will be down 0-1 inside of this series. Remember, folks, best of 3 all the way up in towards the grand finals, best of 5 in the grand finals, and then, of course, we will be having these matches on stream for you. As we mentioned before, folks, if you are just joining us, it's very unfortunate that we are not able to show you with our codcaster, but the lobbies are non-compliant.
And we are back, Call of Duty fans. We have more action here for you. The Release the Kraken tournament continues now. We got Havoc and Fly High F3 going at it here in our Search and Destroy. And just like that, a quick round 1.
Hey, can I get a hashtag F3F3 in the chat, guys, real quick?
Absolutely.
Rest in peace to my boy Pharaoh. But finally, guys, this is the best thing that we have heard all day in the stream right now. We are finally back in Codcaster for more Call of Duty action. I couldn't be happier, and I mean that. I truly could not be happier that we are back and ready to go inside of this game, folks. Search and Destroy on Garrison. Oh my god, I'm excited. And I know Tugboat is too. On the right side, we've got the side of Fly High F3, and on the left side, we've got Team Havoc. And folks, in the chat, we apologize for the wait, but we are back, baby. It's Call of Duty time.
Absolutely. Again, just to reiterate, we have Fly High F3 on the right, in the red, that's HVA, and that's Havoc left, blue, with Havoc there at the top. Quick 2-2 in this one. GodRx has picked up that rock, trying to move this one on around. Every player here towards the middle rotating and trying to get that good angle, but that's going to be Havoc falling. That is Havoc, the team on the left, now down to the last man. GodRx Mox trying to find this last one. And whack that mole, right?
Yeah, but they knew where Skies is, obviously. You see the guy playing the top tank, Heglitch, who is just really just standing on top of the tank now, just waiting for Skies to make a move. But they know where he is now. They know that he cannot come from anywhere on this left side of the map and make a play towards that bomb without them being able to spot him. However, now Skies is going to be playing this one a bit passive. The bomb will be going down here over towards the B site. One in the corner. Skies won't be able to challenge. 2 rounds in a row to the side of Fly High, F3. They're looking fantastic here in the Search and Destroy, looking to continue the momentum from that first map of the Hardpoint where they were able to just scrape by in a victory over the side of Team Havoc.
Yes, sir. That was a 250 to about 210. Do not have the exact numbers for that one, but again, markedly different, night and day different from our last on-stream Search and Destroy, one that went down 250 to 75, Lycus Gaming and Sicario. Different story here, as we're on board with Havoc, still looking forward his first kill across 2 Search and Destroys. Gotta say that about the side of Havoc in general. Skies is the only player who has found himself a kill.
Yeah, well, they're going to be pushing over towards this B site right off the rip. The smoke is going to go out, so they're going to be able to push up towards the office, or at least you'd like to hope so. Havoc up on top of the bridge with that FFAR. Some great shots there from Awakening on the God RX, takes down 1, so a first blood goes their way. Panther falls as well, so now it's a 4 versus 2. Kismet and Mox, it's their turn to go ahead and clutch up the round for the side of Fly High F3, and, well, that's going to be at least a bit of a start, but he gets only a couple of shots on, not able to find the kill, so still playing a bit passively. They need to get a bomb down here somewhere, though, and, well, I'm talking about the side of Team Havoc, and, well, they get some shots there onto Kismet, now a 1 versus 4. Mox tries to go ahead, finds one, but won't find any else. Team Havoc take their first round of the Search and Destroy.
Strike back here. They came through with only 1 player, find themselves multiple kills. Other 3 had not found one yet. Different stories all the way through it. And Awakening gets a mouthful of lead on that drop shot. I have to ask him how that one tastes after game.
Well, I can imagine how that one tastes.
We'll leave that joke alone.
No, I think we'll hit that one home. But, folks, we're back for round number 4. 2-1 for the side of Fly High F3. They lost the round there. A great B push from the side of Team Havoc as they were able to get up aggressive with that smoke play coming through. Trophies are going to be huge inside of this round. And, of course, it's just going to be that uniform setup that we see on the offensive pushes. Playing a little bit slow, trying to pick somebody off guard over towards the defensive side, trying to maybe get that first blood that's oh so important, but as they continue to play just a little bit slow here, they're trying to catch an opponent off guard, and as the stun's going to come through, the nades are going to go out. They're going to be trying to find one over towards the right side, but nobody is there. No one's home. No one's even knocking in middle map yet.
There you go. Lights may be on, but nobody is home. I can guarantee as frags and tacticals come out for a little bit of information as far as positioning. 3 players laying down a little slumber party over there towards this B site. We're still on board with Mox here. Nobody following in this one quite yet. Very, very slow, like you said. Now, the narrative here, of course, is that Havoc came into this one, 3 players not finding themselves a kill quite yet. Slacked is the only one who hasn't done that, and God RX on the other side, not finding a kill yet. Kismet falls on this one, 2 and 4 for him, so you go down to the even, the negative, about 50% on that, and Skies falls as well. The turn and the burn, Pander giving him what's good.
Pander now finds 2 there, puts his teammate in a huge position there, a great position now. I believe they've got bombed down as well. A round that should have been for the side of Team Havoc turns on its head completely. Excuse me. Now I rethink that statement. That was actually the side of Fly High F3 who was on the offensive side of things. But despite a huge 2-piece there from Pander, unfortunately, it's not going to turn and shape up the way they would have hoped for. A great play there by Team Havoc, though I can't discredit that. They played 2 under the vents right there, and that allowed for the side of Team Havoc to get bombed down over towards the vent side, not have to worry about anything after the fact. And, well, it was a 2-pair on each side of the map. They played it well. They played it perfectly in the sense, and came away with the round win.
Exactly. The idea here is that after both of these teams took a little bit of a slower look on this 3rd round there, Havoc was able to come through here, and now the tied up, or no, excuse me, Fly High. Yes, you're right. My bad. 2-2 tied up here. Might as well be a best of 3 at this point, or first to 3 after this round, right?
Absolutely, Tugboat. But now as we see Havoc making this push over towards the right side with his teammate, looking to potentially push up onto this B bomb once again. They were able to get it down last time. They were able to win the round last time. Can they go ahead and win their 3rd round in a row here after Fly High got off to a very hot 2-round start? Havoc's jumping around the corner. Oh no! Havoc! Colt! Kismet! What? Tugboat!
Disrespectful things. Kismet gives him a kiss of a
Annihilation!
different type, one he probably didn't like. Everybody is looking at these vents area. That was almost a situation of too many cooks in the kitchen to get something done. 35 seconds, both players have lost one, and Mox gets taken out with the long range. Skies turns and is not able to get anything going. Pander giving another headshot. The man's finding these left and right.
Got a Rex left. Live now, Pander, and a 1 versus 2. Can he go ahead and clutch? He got 2 kills last time under the vents. Didn't help his team get to the window in the last round. Can he do so here? 15 seconds for the plant to come through, and now over towards the B bomb. It's going to be coming down. It's going to come down to Pander finding 1. Can he go ahead and find the second kill? Over towards the office, now on top of the bridge. Awakening in the 1 versus 1. Can he clutch up for the side of Team Havoc and put them with 3 rounds in a row? Pander sneaking around, gets some shots onto Awakening, realizes where the player is, and Pander's going to hop on the bomb. Sneaky, sneaky. Can he go ahead and find it? Awakening to the creep around the corner, almost able to escape with his life, but too little too late. Awakening with a huge play in the 1 versus 1. Ruins Pander's hopes and dreams of clutching up for the side of Fly High.
Absolutely. Pander coming through, slapping with headshots left and right, even gets himself play of the game. Play the game, excuse me, but not going to be able to rack it out there in the end. 3-2 now as Havoc takes the lead.
What happened that round, Tugboat?
Pander made a couple players go back to respawn very quickly with headshots.
There was a turn and burn. There was a Pander, almost a 1 versus 2 clutch. There's some of these plays inside of this round, these last 2 rounds of the Search and Destroy have been utterly ridiculous, enough to put in an entire highlight reel for some players. But as now we go into another round for the first time in this game, Team Havoc does have the lead here 3-2 over the side of Fly High. So as GodRx now up top on the tank head glitch, it's going to be interesting to see. Now, will he be able to get out towards that bomb site, or will it be Awakening just playing sneaky over towards that staircase, playing slow?
Yep.
And slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady does win the race, says the turtle to the hare. Now, of course, they have the X-ray vision on this. Pander is looking but does not know that Havoc is on the other side. Havoc shows up and gives him the business! Sky's falling on the other side, so still a 3-2-3, but still very, very impressive 1v1 performance. We talked about these duels earlier, McCord.
Yeah, well, I mean, Havoc right there, he kind of made up for the turn and burn last time, although I don't think he's ever going to forget that. But Kismet jumps out, beautiful bait and switch there by Mox as well. Awakening caught off guard by 2 players sliding around the corners, and I love the plays right there. That just shows that they're communicating well inside of the game. Havoc going to go ahead and find the trade to make it a 2 versus 2. Bomb has not gone down yet. Just 15 seconds in order to get this planted at either A or the B site. It looks like they're going to opt to go over towards this B site, though. Push up towards the bomb. Mox going to be hopping on the bomb. Now a player in the vent's going to get 1. Slack finds 2!
No.
Slack gets the kills, and Slack puts him down 4-2 in the round. Another clutch from the side of Team Havoc comes up huge, even through the smoke, through the flames. It doesn't matter. Slack is going to be the one who puts him down.
Now, we talked about comms, right? That is the opportunity for Mox's teammate to say, hey, you need to stand up and get back into this firing squad, right? Objective is important, but that wasn't to defuse. That was a plant, and there still would have been that 45 seconds or so after that had he gotten it off. At that point, you got to play for lives. As it is, Havoc stringing together another 2-piece when it comes to wins, offense and defense, as they started out this map doing.
Pushing up, he's got the Semtex over the top through the smokes. They're going to be trying to push on through, but Mox playing very patiently over towards his back spawn, and this could be huge for the side of Fly High, as they're going to be able to find the first kill. Mox takes down the opening player of of Havoc, and that is going to leave things in a 3 versus 4 situation. Now pushing over towards the bomb site is going to be the side of Fly High. Kismet takes another down, so a 4 versus 2 already. All they've got to do now is just play back, not let the players push up onto the bomb, cover all their angles, cover all the trade positions, and be able to take this round in flying colors.
At the end of this, I really hope we get some information about how many headshots there was. It doesn't seem like these players like shooting people in the bodies, hands, legs, anything else like that. Nope, they want heads. Just click on their heads would be the classic caster advice of the year, right? Just click on their heads, and you'll eventually win this game.
Wise words from Tug there. They do like their heads inside of this game, and now as Skies pushes up, he's not going to be able to find the kill. Some bad timing there is going to unfortunately put him at his demise. And well, Team Havoc for the first time in 4 rounds, so some sort of, Fly High for the first time in 2 rounds, so some sort of semblance on either the offense or defensive side, and is able to take a round after what was almost a walk away from the side of Team Havoc. So as we get back here into another round, a round 8 in this game, it's pretty much the biggest round that we've seen thus far. It's the difference between 5-3 and 4-4.
I'm with it. The narrative there, the tale to be told, is the fact that Fly High came through there without dropping a player. Yes, they lost 2 rounds, but this looks like a team that is coordinated and wanted to change their game plan to something a little bit more advantageous. The last time, it worked.
Black looking for the push-up. Skies just playing passively. All these guys playing back towards their spawn on the defensive side, knowing that they don't have to get super aggressive with these chows. Panda on top of the bridge, potentially looking for a player in towards middle map. Kismet is there as well, going to nade that right side corner. No trophy system is out there quite yet, but they're still going to be playing very passively up on towards this bridge. 2 smokes go out. They're going to go ahead and cross. It looks like an A push is going to start commencing here in just a moment. Panda slides out, goes to look for the player of Awakening, but Awakening gets some great shots, is able to back off, but it's going to be a huge push from the side. A fly high, but now as the trades come through, 3 versus 2. Mox, GodRx, the last one's alive, looking for the shots, but great plays there from Havoc. It's going to catch one in the office. GodRx, the last one alive in the 1 versus 3.
2-3 for GodRx, looking to make those numbers a little bit more pretty. There's the first, looking for the second. Did catch a shot there towards the end, but his HP now coming back to 150, 1-2 situation. So not going to be easy, but at least he is back to that ideal situation to have taken this. Moving closer towards B, mostly just looking out for these players. Yeah, he knows what the name of the game is here. Just executing is the name. Next.
He's got to get bomb as well. Just with 5 seconds left, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Both players from the side of Team Havoc know that the bomb is down. One player is going to stay across the map. The other one's going to go look over towards that B bomb site, just playing under. Potentially, he might have slipped through and grabbed the bomb in some way, shape, or form. But Sky's great plays. They don't play right next to each other. They separate themselves out through the map to where they can't get double killed and then have a fluke round go the opposite way. Great plays from the side of Team Havoc. They play together. All these guys, obviously veterans inside of this game when it comes to the search and destroy mode and Call of Duty in general, so they're going to be making the right play 99% of the time. It all just comes down to situational awareness and, of course, where your teammates are on the map and being able to recognize that.
That last 1%, yes, sir.
Oh, no! Say that, Scott!
Oh,
no! 2 of his teammates and takes it. Oh my god!
No, here's what it is. It's Team Havoc who just wanted to make this one a little bit more even. They want to hear us scream a little bit louder. That's fly high.
God.
Now in a 3v1 situation after the very unfortunate miscoordination on the explosions over there. Had some, explodable environment. What is...
Miscoordination, I don't know if that's even the right word.
I'm trying to be nice.
Use. I know, but that is just unfortunate right there. Skies takes down 2 of his teammates and himself, and a very unfortunate set of circumstances, and now Slacked live in the 1 versus 4. He's already got 1 to his name. He can play this one a bit more, I guess you could say, aggressive to try and get some kills because he needed to go with the time that was allotted to him. But alas, a round that could have gone towards the side of Team Havoc easily was blown apart quite literally at the beginning of the round.
Be nice,
by a
Bart.
Semtex from Skies. Just a very unfortunate plays, as we've already mentioned. But that
99%, right? That's the 99%. Yeah. Caster Curse strikes again, y'all. You say they're doing a great job, and then a little bit of a different story. Now, here's an interesting story, right? So Havoc coming through here. Everybody is dead even except for Slacked at 5 and 7. Similar stories with the even GodRx 4 and 4, Panda 7 and 7, but Mox is the standout player of this match so far.
That couldn't have happened any differently. I'm sorry.
It couldn't have happened at a better time.
I think it was perfect timing on it, but Kismet slides over towards the B-bomb. Still 4 alive for both of these 2 squads, and of course we see Fly High needing to win this round in order. Oh, almost some great plays by Skies, but isn't able to destroy the barrel. It would have been a fantastic play and a great awareness of where place and props are placed on the map, but now still in the 4 versus 4. Shots up top there onto GodRx aren't going to be successful, but Pander gets burned. Oh, down low. Now as Havoc pushes up and takes down Kismet, it's going to be 1 left alive. Mox, the last one alive in a defiant last stand, not going to be able to stand a chance, and that is going to be it. Game number 2 going to the side of Team Havoc. They tie the series up 1-1 after a hard point that was down to the very last few seconds at the final hill. Same thing here in the Search and Destroy, just 1 round off of round 11 either way. That was a very entertaining round in game Search and Destroy.
Exactly. We are looking at a tied situation. I feel like that's what has been on stream so far, pretty frequently so far. You know, round 1 going one way, round 2 going a second way. These best of 3s are popping off. 250 to 208 was the Miami hard point. 6-4 is the Garrison Search and Destroy, a different story, as we're now looking at the control on Armada.
Well, interesting choice of map for the control.
It's
going to be Honestly, I don't even know if I've seen Control on Armada played too much, but from what I'm hearing, it's going to be interesting. I guess that's the best way I can phrase that.
Yes.
But Armada, it's a fun S&D map at times. It can be a little bit annoying with some of the placements of not the bomb sites, but just those underground areas where you are going down there, and either you have to camera glitch where you're jumping over and then sliding in and then getting to cover immediately, or running towards the door. There's a lot of areas on this map where camera angles are unfortunately very prevalent and can be abused to a very large standard. So Armada, though, for Control, respawn very, very different than what we see in Search and Destroy, and this is going to all come down, really, in my opinion, to who is able to control the spawns inside of this one. Now, not in the sense of spawns are going to be flipping around, but who can get the spawn traps first. Getting to that top mid building in B is a huge advantageous position. You can beam players in their spawns, so you know, a couple of angles that might be a little bit overpowered in that regard, just like the MP5 was, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hey, Treyarch came through. Yeah, exactly. Treyarch came through with the distance damage reduction for the MP5. That was 33%. So nothing changing up close and personal, but longer range. Yes, the MP5 is not going to have the same capabilities as it did before. Now, coming through, and again, we have to touch back onto some other weapons, right? AK-47 has been absolutely like the defining factor for some of these matchups between. That was Gunjar earlier popping off with that one, then that swapped on along to Nightmare. That's who it was for Sicario Gaming, who's really showed a absolute just day performance on that weapon. It really was inspirational, and again, I have to admit it, we were wrong. Not a single XM4 so far.
Well, I wasn't wrong. No.
Wow. Left out in the lurch, ladies and gentlemen.
I apologize.
I'm in the cold.
There you go.
You're good. I hate being wrong as well, so that's fair.
I do agree with that. The AK, it's something that was kind of the last 2-3 days that has worked its way more into the meta, more or less, and we have been seeing that a lot today inside of this tournament. With the Toronto Ultra, the Minnesota Rocker event that we saw, the 6 versus 6, it was a bit weird in that regard when we were seeing all the different types of weapons being used and how that really affected the way the game worked. But now that we're looking towards more 4v4 events, rather a 6v6 event that try to change it up a little bit, we are in a truly competitive atmosphere in terms of what we could potentially be seeing for the rest of the CDL season upcoming. I'm not exactly sure when the start date is, but obviously throughout the course of this Cold War season. However, folks, it is time for something that I know every single one of you has been waiting for. It is time for a scuff giveaway of a pretty Florida Mutineers controller.
All right, guys. This format is going to be the exact same, and I think it might be a little bit easier to spell scuff than Astros, maybe 4 letters to 5. But what we need you to do is go on and spam those chats. That's true. Spam those chats with that scuff all the way through. The winner will be picked at random to win themselves a Florida Mutineers scuff controller. Look at that beauty.
I just look at that thing and there's just so much that speaks out to me. The tentacles, I just want to grip them in my hands every single time. I'm up late at night and I'm just tenderly looking at my controller, just saying, man, my scuff is absolutely beautiful.
Well, hey, Corn, maybe if you had 8 tentacles, you'd play better than with 2 hands. You burned me earlier. I had to get back at you.
Are you trying to tell me that I don't have thumbs, Tugboat? Are you trying to? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
8 tentacles, 10 fingers. Who knows?
I'm on the caster's desk for a reason.
There you go. Yes, Scuff Controller. If you want to try and get yourself a free piece of top-tier esports hardware, go ahead and fill up that chat now with Scuff. S-C-U-F. We spelled it earlier. We spelled this one again. S-C-U-F. Scuff. Yes, sirs and ma'ams, just fill it on up, and we'll pick out a winner here in just a little bit. Now, talking a little bit more about this match before we go on to our third. Again, that's the Control on Armada. Where do we want to take the conversation at this point?
Well, I honestly think it comes down to I said it beforehand, but AR players on this map. You know, your fast-paced SMG players aren't going to be able to do as much on an Armada map as say maybe a Miami over towards that site that's in the garage, and maybe that's not the best example of one of the sites for an MP5 player, but again, your short-range players are going to be far and few between on this map, especially with how long the lines of sight are from the windows to the spawns, from the bottom across, and even if you're trying to make a sneaky water play to rappel up the back, it's going to be AR City that are spraying you through the water as you're coming up. So there's a lot of angles to play on this map, but you know, it's tried and true. This map is
little it's gotta say it's a little wonky. It's a little wonky.
It's interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all it's going to be. But for spectators, it's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. What there's the simple ability to be able to move through this water to then get onto points or rotate. Anything more is just not really something to exactly see, right? The methods of transportation before just being simple boots on the ground or your little jetpack. Now we got some Michael Phelps here. We got some swimmers going on through here to rotate all the way around. What are you mad about the jetpack?
No, I'm not mad about
the
jetpack.
Gotcha.
No, so I'd like obviously they're spamming scuff in the chat right now, but like I also just got to know chat like ones and twos, right? One, you like jetpacks. Two, you don't like jetpacks.
Like boots on the ground.
Very simple. One, you don't like them. Two, you like them. So spam one or two in the chat as well as scuff. And you know, I just want to see something. It's an experiment. It's a
and who knows? Maybe we'll use that to determine who gets the scuff controller based on what we like. Who knows? Weirder things have happened.
All right. Well, let me ask you then that, Tugboat.
Easy
Jetpacks,
peasy.
yes or no?
Jetpacks, no.
No.
Vote no. There
Why?
you go. Objection. Sustained.
Why?
I'm not sure actually if that's how it goes in court or whatever. Well, I just movement has always been a part of Call of Duty, right? Why do you need to change that more when you have? I mean, you have so many other opportunities, right? Like head glitches, other things where your positioning and your movements comes into play. Why do you need to have players flying through the air like they're angels or like they're like they're birds, or whatever else? I don't know.
There
you go.
Simple answer, because no.
1,000 words versus one. Yeah. McCord Meal's got your answer here for you.
Well, I mean, like jetpacks in general, it was fun for the 3 years that they were there. I think that they did them well, and I think it served as a nice break from boots on the ground. But now that we're back, I think that everybody can, not everybody in terms of every single person, but a lot of people I feel can kind of come to the general agreement that boots on the ground, although sometimes it's not as exciting in terms of the wild plays you're able to make and how fast you're able to move across the map inside of jetpack games. I think we can all agree it's more tame, and the biggest problem with jetpacks was the camera angles, and that's
a pretty
still
good point.
kind of a issue in some degree, but not nearly as impactful as it was in the jetpack games. But anyways, moving off of that, back into this game, Armada control is going to be coming up. And, well, apparently the lobby, unfortunately, got closed, and and we're back to this again, so.
Gotcha. So, yes, no thumb wrestling between FBI Tugboat and McCord Meal here. We're going to go to a very short break. Have some replays going for you. Shout out to our production members who are helping us out with that and helping to get these replays on stream for you guys. We'll be back as soon as we can, I promise. Again, nothing we can do about software and server issues.